everybody. I'm so excited to have you on another episode of Take Flight. Please do not forget to like, comment on our Facebook page, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Take Flight. And also don't forget to follow our Instagram page, Take Flight. And it's Take Flight with a 3, not an I. We're special. We're different. And I am your amazing host, Gold of Ophir, and I'm also here with my other amazing host, Phil Curling. Phil acting so bougie, I don't know why. And then to an amazing special co-host that we have on the show today. We're so delighted and happy to have with us. He is a programmer. He is a father of 2. He's always intrigued with the mind. And the mind is definitely a mysterious being. I'm also intrigued with the mind as well. We have something in common. And he believes that there is always something that you can learn from anybody, no matter their age. And I truly concur with that as well. You never know who you can learn from. So without further ado, let us welcome Kadesh Bailey to the show. Kadesh, how are you?
I am doing great, Ophir. Thank you so much for having me on the call. I'm so excited to exchange with you guys on this topic. Thank you so much.
Definitely. Thank you so much for making your time available to even be on this call with us. We had a little, we had a little rough patch getting you
He's a
on this
very
call,
busy
but the
guy.
devil, the
But we got
devil
it.
is a liar.
We got it done. We
The
got it
devil,
done. We're here.
yeah, he cannot stop this greatness that we're about to do today. So, guys, thank you so much for jumping on. And first of all, Candace, I always like to do a little check-in. So Phil, let us know how your week is going. How's everything going with you?
My week was going pretty good. I actually came up with a new topic that I'm about to write up on, and it came up when I was actually like we know yesterday it actually rained a lot yesterday, and I had to go walk to work. So I had to take off my shoes. The place was muddy, and walking through the water, the dirty water, like a thought came to my head, and I realized that sometimes in life we walk through water and it's dirty, but we always see is the end results. We don't know about what's in the water, what's gonna happen to while we walking through this thing, and that's life. Life is something that's like unexpectedly. We know our results, we know where we want to go, but not how we can get there. We know we have to go through dirty water, and in dirty water, you'll be like, okay, let me take this one step. Okay, hold on, that's a smooth part. Okay, nothing run across my feet, and that's life. Like you have to take that small steps through your dirty water to get to your end. And that's basically so they should see something come about that in a little while. So I have a new topic to write about.
All right, amazing. And Kadish, what about you? How was your week so far?
So far, I've been having an amazing week, quite productive and very inspirational. I'm normally up quite late working on projects, and I had a really bad headache last night. And what was so interesting about that, I didn't have my liquid gels. I went to sleep with the headache, but I woke up refreshed extra early. And usually, where I'm in rush hour traffic in the mornings, I didn't have that. I got up early, got myself organized, and I got to work like way ahead of time, got my day started out really good. It was a very productive day. And it's interesting. Sometimes the things that are a nuisance that causes us to change our regular habits may very well be a blessing in disguise.
Amazing, amazing. So, guys, it's so good to know that your week was going great. Now it's time to jump into this amazing book that we discovered. Actually, the book was actually said on a morning call that all 3 of us usually jump on in the morning. Yeah, so on the mentorship call, this book actually was brought up by a friend and business partner, Anton. He brought up the book "Who Moves My Cheese." So the top the title of the book was very funny. What do you mean "Who Moves My Cheese"? What are you talking about? Who moves your cheese? So Phil actually brought up the whole idea for us to do a topic on it. And Phil, could you give the audience a little bio, a little summary as to what Who Moved My Cheese is all about?
All right, Who Moved My Cheese is all about. Basically, what it's talking about. You had two rats and two humans, basically, and they all started on this journey and to look for cheese. And they end up finding this spot with cheese. The two rats decided to take their shoes off, tie the shoes around their neck, and start eating. The humans got there, throw their shoes wherever they show their shoes, and they start eating. And the book just talk about how the rats actually stayed observant of what's going on. And they realized the cheese was running low. So they decided to say, hold on, let's put back on our shoes and let's go for a run. They decided to go for the run. The humans, they wasn't checking. They figured they had enough cheese because they weren't observant. So they just was eating. And eventually, later on, when they realized that cheese was really low, then they started to panic. They didn't know what to do. Mind you, they forgot that they ran there from the first go. They went searching. So they began to panic, and it's all about basically like one of the humans realizing that he gonna do it. Like he's worried about all these other things and that don't make no sense when he actually thought about it. So he burst out laughing and he decided to go look for his shoes. He couldn't even find his shoes. It took him a while to find his shoes. And when he found his shoes, he went running, but his friend didn't want to go. He was telling his friend, let's go, let's go, let's go, come with me, let's go. His friend was like worrying, complaining, oh, they're frustrated, blaming everyone but himself that the cheese run low. So basically, he left his friend, but he still loved his friend, that the fact he left signs for his friend to follow. And it just talk about him just basically finding the cheese that the mice found, that there's more than the first set. So it's basically, and he did the same thing with the rats did. So he started to eat the cheese, but he put the shoes around his neck. See, with that shoes around the neck, it actually changed the way he thought. It actually made him realize that, okay, no matter how successful I come, I must not be comfortable. I must be able to run. I must be able to go after it. It must not sit down and it must not sit with me and I'd be like, okay, fine. Okay, I made my first 100 grand. I good. I straight. Not realizing that eventually that goes. And that's with life. You have to keep searching. You got to keep looking. You got to keep learning. And that book was life. That base was about life, about success, about schooling, about everything. It just tells you that every day you got to be learning.
Yeah, that book was surely amazing. There's also a short animation version on YouTube that I actually watched. And for those who are animation lovers and love cartoons, it's definitely an alternative to reading the book or listening to the audio. So Kadesh, which one of the characters did you relate to the most? And I don't just mean in terms of like positive attributes, also negative attributes as well. Did you see most of yourself in? Which of the characters did you see most of yourself in?
Definitely him. Him was the little human that got comfortable. Him got comfortable and didn't really want to change. And I identified with him because I worked so hard to get to this point, and I'm here, I'm comfortable, I'm enjoying the cheese. And during that time where I'm enjoying the cheese, I didn't realize how much time has passed. So I was able to identify with him a lot.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have attributes of him. Before we went through the whole personal development, a lot of us were comfortable. A lot of us weren't really analyzing and weren't really taking note of our environment. You know what I mean? A lot of us just were like, okay, I'm here. This is where I'm at. I'm not worrying about, anything else. We weren't alert. We kind of stayed in our little zone. We stayed stagnant and we just kept, doing whatever we were doing, not realizing that, like the cheese was dwindling. A lot of things that we were doing were dwindling and we got
I know,
comfortable.
yeah.
And And then it's also the whole adapting to change. I'm the type of person I don't like change, to be quite honest with you. I like things to stay the way they are. The minute a slight thing changes, it's like, hold on, wait, whoa, hold on, what happened? No, 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 no. We need to go back to how it was. But at the same time, change is inevitable.
Yes, it is.
So
It's actually one of those things where I think there's a saying. I don't remember who said it. The only constant in life is change,
yes,
and
exactly.
we have to
That's the
realize.
only thing against it. And that's the thing that I dreaded. And that's the thing that a lot of people dread the most.
And
And
the thing
that's an
is, a
amazing
lot.
thing because when it comes to your comfort zone, a lot of us, what we sometimes that we don't realize is, have you ever been in a situation where you're learning a new skill, maybe a new dance or a new sport or something, and maybe you failed at it at first, but because of your excitement in it, you didn't realize that you were going out of your comfort zone because of your attitude towards learning this new skill. And then now that you're in a different stage in your life or wherever, and you now have to change your comfort zone, sometimes we meet that change with a type of negative, don't want to change attitude,
Resistance. Yeah.
resistance. Perfect. And it really is us recognizing that, hey, this is the exact same thing. Let me change my attitude to it, get excited about it, and embrace that change.
The same thing with exercising. You got people who obese, people sick, people overweight, people got some type of thing going on. But when you tell them, listen, stop eating your fried chicken. Why are you eating pizza late at night? Why you gotta do this? Don't eat that. Or this is better. Instead of having pizza, have a baked chicken or have a celery stick. They refuse to do it. They don't care. They tell you no. They don't want change. And you get all type of resistance to be like, oh, well, I bake boned it. Or my family was always fat. Or God bless me like this. Until the doctor tell you, well, you have 6 months to live. Then you see them up the bridge eating a celery stick. And even that is like a pain in the head because they only doing it to live. And sometimes it's too late to change that way. And then you got some who don't really give a rat's. They don't really care. And it's sad. Like you gotta have that, you gotta be willing to learn. You gotta be willing to learn. You gotta be willing to change. Because that's how life is. It's the only way life rolls around. That's the only way you move from point A to point B to point C. And this is why people say you got the 98 percenters and the 2 percenters.
Yeah.
98 percenters don't want to change it. 2% always change it.
I feel like um in order to get to that 2%, in order to get to that mindset, I feel like we have to go through that journey like what Hall went through. Because
Mm-hmm.
Hall was like him, they kept going back day after day, just thinking that the cheese is gonna magically appear after it didn't after it was no more. They went back day after day after day after day to the point where they got hungry. And instead of them try find a new district to get the cheese, they continue going back. I think Hall was like, "What? I don't think what we doing making any sense no more because we coming back, we going back. Cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hungry. I'm pretty sure the mice found cheese. So
Because they ain't see them no more.
exactly. I think we need to change up our thinking. I think we need to do something different. And the great thing about it is Haw didn't want to leave him, at first. Haw was like, come on, Ham, come join me. The only way we could discover new cheeses is if we go out there into the maze. And Ham allowed fear to creep in. I think all of us know about fear, and all of us know how fear can be a crutch.
I totally agree with what you said just now in terms of fear and the fact that Hall was actually in the same space that Hem was. And it's interesting, it reminded me of a passage of scripture. I think it's Proverbs chapter 8, maybe verse 1. Speaks about wisdom. Doesn't wisdom call out? Doesn't she raise her voice? Because when you're doing something and you know that you're struggling, you know that there's something off about what you're doing. There comes a point in time where you're gonna say, no, something is not right. And at that point, you're at a crossroads. And for a lot of us, myself included, we would say, well, no, I'm entitled. I've been working here for these years. They can't change this on me. Look at
Mm-hmm.
all the things that I've done. So they need to keep it that way. And then another you will say, well, no, everybody else in the department is doing it this way. You need to get with the times. You know what I'm saying? And then you look around your company and you realize people have moved on. They have progressed. And you realize, man, what am I going to do? And that is where fear can come in. It's fear of the unknown. But the interesting thing about fear, which is actually a subsidiary of our comfort zone, of a survival mechanism to keep us safe, because that's the function of our brain to keep us safe. But the other side of that fear is destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And when we embrace the unknown, having confidence that it will be okay, that we will do what it takes, we let go of those things that held us back, and we're able to progress to the next step with, you know, a willing, eager, um, desire to actually get that thing done. And that's what's so amazing. So I agree with what you said in terms of
Mm-hmm.
fear, especially what lies on the other side of it.
Yes.
And the difference between her and him is that one decided to use fear as a negative and one used the fear as positive. See, you gotta use that fear. Fear does not fear. Not fear is not bad.
No.
What you do with that fear.
Hmm.
Same thing. Most guys today, listen, I in the gym working out. Why? They fear to be fat. They fear to be unhealthy. So they working out. They change their diet because that fear. The same thing when they find out they sick, they change their diet because that fear of death. The same thing with the job. Why we went to school? Because we didn't want to be unemployed. And that is why being an entrepreneur is hard. Because you got to look at that fear and say, hold on, what if I don't make a paycheck? What if I don't make a pay? And this is the difference between working a 9 to 5, nothing's wrong with that, and being an entrepreneur. 9 to 5, we know at the end of the week, or every 2 weeks, or at the end of the month, we get paid. Entrepreneur, we got to do the work. If you don't do the work, you don't get paid. If you don't open your shop, you don't get paid. So that fear that a lot of 9 to 5 know, they refuse to do the entrepreneur. Mind you, they might have the skill, but they like that pet. They like that steady paycheck. That
That's
fear keeps
security.
them comfortable. Then you have some of them say, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Even though I work my 9 to 5, I still could get fired. They still could tell me they don't need me. They can make it redundant. Or I could take sick and then I can't work no more. So hold on, let me use my 9 to 5 to fund my entrepreneur lifestyle. So they
I'm
let that fear, what I did, they use that fear as a positive. So we gotta use our fears and our problems as positive, not like you gotta see the what do you think? Half full, cup half
Yeah.
full, than half empty.
But listen, I'm so glad that you brought up that whole 9 to 5 situation, because the cheese basically was the security for them. The cheese was their security. That's why they kept going back, and they were like, "That's a sure thing." But the minute that security then dwindled, it was like, "Hold on, wait, hold on now. We have to switch things up." And I think that's a perfect example of what's even happening in this situation right here. A lot of jobs that were once secure is no longer secure anymore because of the whole COVID-19 situation. You know what I mean? And so now people are, their mindset is so put on the whole, okay, I need this 9 to 5 to survive. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Like they don't have the capacity to think outside of the box. You know what I mean? And say, hold on, what's beyond this? All they see is this. All they see is what they can see now, and they're not trying to look beyond, what it is. And so a lot of people, they panicked and didn't know what to do because they were so used to what they were accustomed to. and then to have to go out into the unknown, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna wait here until my job my job opens back up, and I'm just gonna, rely on NIB, and then, everything will be fine. Like, you know what I mean?
I do, I do. It makes a lot of sense, Sophia. And you raised 2 points that are very, very important. And one is the comfort zone with the 9 to 5, the security. And one of the disadvantages of what that promotes to individuals is that comfort. And there's a mentor in the networking fraternity that we're a part of, that says, and she does it so powerfully, she says, always be ready so you don't have to get ready. And that is one of the symbolic inferences to get from the shoes being on the mice's neck. They are in a ready mode. They are always asking themselves the question. Think about it. If you're the type of person that goes to the gym, you can probably do a certain number of squats. But if you weren't a person that was going into the gym and you're told to do, this number of squats, you won't be able to do it because you weren't accustomed to doing it. So when it came time for you to do it, you couldn't. So when COVID happened and people had to actually make that switch, they couldn't, because for years they were comfortable not exercising their minds. And that is evidenced in the type of activities you're seeing persons happening. For example, selling weave or hair, a cook shop. Not that anything's wrong with that, but if everybody is bringing a cook shop now, you're now all competing in that same small market share. The other thing that you raised, Ophir, that I thought was really, really pivotal in the story is that Ha loved him. Ha loved him so much that Ha left clues. And one of the lessons that is there is when we get into the habit of questioning what's happening, observing what's happening, and realizing that we need to make a move, it helps us to make that move, so that for some persons who aren't there, for some persons who haven't made that mental ascent to where we are, perhaps they need to see us do it. Perhaps they need to see us take that step. Take that step to leave the district and go searching. Take that step and let persons see, yes, there is a better way. I have found cheese and I've left some crumbs for you. This is what you need to do. You know me, we've been here. I actually suffered with you, but I made a decision and look at where I am now. You can do it too. And that is in essence what Hard did. And that came from the purpose of him going to the other side of fear. And when he got to the other side of fear, to look and be able to laugh at himself, realizing, why was I doing this? Why was I thinking this way? And then he realized, in laughing at how he was behaving, he was able to mature. And then from there, with eager anticipation, just head straight along into, yes, the unknown. But he found cheese along the way, and ultimately he got to the big cheese.
Yes. So on that note, we have landed. It's always an amazing ride on Fl3ght. We always you're always elevating, going to different heights. And I think we reach, I don't know, we must have reached the stratosphere. Because we went a little far. We went into space.
Yeah, another galaxy.
But guys, thank you. Yes, you went to another galaxy. And you know what? We have fun doing it. And thank you for coming on this amazing journey with us. So we can't wait to see you back week after next Wednesday. Our show will be coming on every 2 weeks. So we want to make sure that we create quality for you guys, not just quantity. We want to create quality for you guys. So please, God bless, take care, and thank you for taking flight with us. You guys have a great evening.